Hello, welcome to McDowell Strategy and Tactics, and thank you to our subscribers. Today we're playing Sonalyst Combat Systems Fleet Command, an operational level naval combat simulator. Please remember to like the video and subscribe for more great strategy and tactics content. And if you want to show your support with a donation, the links are in the description. It is the 1990s. Post-Soviet Russia has descended into civil war. Martial law has been declared. Ultranationalist leader Vladimir Radchenko has denounced the Russian government, taken control of much of the former Soviet military, and seized the region around Vladivostok, including the naval base and an ICBM base. Radchenko's rebellion has spread from the Caucasus to Europe, the Middle East, and the Far East. The Red Storm campaign covers a series of fictional naval clashes between America and Russian rebel forces in Atlantic and European waters in the alternate 1990s world of Fleet Command. The conflict then spills over to the Middle East in Red Sirocco and to the Far East in Red Typhoon. In the last episode, the US carrier battle group commenced Operation Northern Freedom. No friendly losses so far, other than 2 aircraft lost to catapult malfunctions on the Ike. The battle group commenced Stage 1 of the operation, the ISR battle, activating sensors and making multiple detections, including the Russian rebel KUG to the north and multiple surface contacts along the coast. Stage 2, or missile defense, followed shortly after. Laboon and Mitcha defended against multiple salvos of surface-launched Sunburn missiles from the north and air-launched AS-4 Kitchen missiles from the east. Stage 3, the counter-ISR battle, saw the destruction of a Tupolev Tu-142 Bear J and 2 Il-38 maritime patrol aircraft, and the detection of the Belomor, a Russian AGI trailing the fleet, and the destruction of a Kamov K-27 helicopter. Stage 4, defensive counter-air, saw the destruction of 4 Su-33 Flanker D from Kuznetsov. And Stage 5 saw the start of anti-submarine warfare patrols, made urgent by enemy torpedoes in the water. In this episode, we continue Operation Northern Freedom. Let's start to task the carrier air group.
Will do. Roger, out.
First, the Hornets on combat air patrol.
Can do. Roger, out.
These two will fly close cap.
Will do.
Tupolev Tu-142 MR Bear J, a submarine communications relay aircraft.
I've got him. Taking track 9139. Roger.
Probably directing attacks by Russian rebel submarines. A beautiful aircraft. 4 Kuznetsov turboprops.
Missile away. Track 9139. Kill track 9139.
Splash 1 Bear J. The Hornets return to Lawcap.
Roger, out.
but are diverted to another positive identification intercept.
Classify track 9172. Can do out. Track 9172 is identified as hostile air.
MiG-31 Foxhound.
Can do out. Emergency rocket bearing 078. Engaging track 9172. Will do out. Missile away track 9172.
The Hornets break off and Mitcher engages.
Will do out.
This is track 0231, entering the circuit, over.
USS Alexandria enters the circuit
Remain at comm step, affirmative.
and is ordered to remain at comms depth for targeting orders.
Killing track 9230. Will go. Birds away track 9230.
The Hawkeye moves out of range. The Boon targets an assumed hostile air contact to the north.
Weapon away track 9172. Take track 9169. Will do. Birds away track 906. Kill track 9229. Will do. Missile away track 9229.
Splash 1 Su-33 Flanker D to the north. Laboon targets the second aircraft.
Can do. Roger. Out. Roger. Out.
Track 9169 tactically maneuvers. Display of hostile intent. Mitcher targets the aircraft.
Will do.
The Vikings establish patrol positions to hunt the launch platform for those torpedoes.
Can do. Roger. Out. Can do. Out. Will do.
The SM-2 ignores the flare. Closes the hostile aircraft
Splash track 9229.
and splash another Su-33 Flanker D.
Will do. Can do. Roger. Out.
The radar-guided ADA air-to-air missiles continue to track their targets, and the Hornets go defensive.
Splash track 9172.
Splash 1 MiG-31 Foxhound. Mitcher re-engages the second.
Taking track 9169. Will go.
The Seahawk gets out of the way.
Roger, out.
The ADA is travelling around 1700 knots, almost 1 kilometre a second,
Missile away track. Will do. Roger. Out.
and runs out of fuel.
Affirmative. Out. Will do. Roger. Out. Can do.
The next 2 Hornets on combat air patrol.
VID track 9162. Will do. Can do. Roger.
Affirmative.
The Vikings establish anti-submarine warfare patrols northwest of the carrier.
Will do. Out. Affirmative. Out. Can do.
The Seahawks move to their positions.
Can do.
And the guided missile destroyers are banging away on active sonar.
Roger, out.
The Bellamore AGI has suffered moderate damage from gunfire from USS Barry. Sonar contact designates Sierra 1, close to the Ike.
Take track 9133. Will do. Roger, out.
Viking 0213 wastes no time in prosecuting with a Mark 46 torpedo. Short-range torpedo following the rules of engagement. Too dangerous for a Mark 50 with the Ike steaming into the area.
Out. Affirmative, out.
Affirmative.
Roger, out.
4 Tomcats are pulled from the orbit to bolster the cap. Their Phoenix long-range air-to-air missiles will hold enemy aircraft at greater range.
Weapon away. Track 9133.
Torpedo away. The 2 Hornets, 0164 and 0165, are assigned Combat Air Patrol Sector North.
Out.
Out.
Hornet 0352 returns to Long Range Combat Air Patrol, or LORCAP. The Mark 46 torpedo is still a long ways off. But the hostile submarine knows she has been engaged and is running fast. Sonar identifies her as a Victor 3, the K298. The immediate missile threat removed, the Ike activates sensors.
Affirmative. Will do. Roger, out.
Another pair of Viking is assigned to an ASW patrol position.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Track 9162, identified as neutral air.
And that is why we insist on PID.
PID track 9187, can do, out.
The Hornet vector onto another intercept. The inbound air contact is a neutral Airbus A300. What the Airbus is doing, flying over an American carrier in a zone of active hostilities, is entirely beyond me. But hundreds of people owe their lives to restraint and proper military procedures. Missile launch.
Emergency emitter bearing 056. Will do. Out.
Those two aircraft are almost certainly hostile.
Kill track 9180. Will do. Roger. Birds away. Track 9180. ID track 9180. Roger. Engaging track 9180. Will do. Missile away. Track 9180. I got him. Engaging track 9187. Out.
Hornet 0168 shot down.
Missile away. Track 9187.
Laboon and Hornet 0169 both engage. It is a MiG-25 Foxbat. Meanwhile, a Flanker D launches an adder. And Mitcher engages the second air contact to the east, which has displayed hostile intent through tactical manoeuvre.
Engage track 9250. Affirmative. Weapon away. Track 9250.
Splash one Foxbat.
Track 9180.
Splash another Foxbat.
Killing track 9251. Roger. Weapon away. Track 9251. Kill track 9133. Emergency emitter bearing 118.
And Mitcher engages the flanker, which is in its air defense zone.
Kill track 9116.
The submarine is hit and destroyed, as is the Bellamore AGI 535, the Karelia. The Russian Tattletale heels to port and begins to capsize. Another missile launch from the flanker to the east.
Emergency emitter bearing. Will do. Out. Killing track away. Track 9250. Roger. Out. Engaging track 9250. Affirmative. Out. Killing track 9251. Sirocco. Out. Weapon away. Track 9251. Emergency emitter bearing 114. Roger. Out. Will do. Splash track 9250.
The adder has locked on to the Viking.
I'm going down. Avenge me.
Splash the flanker, but too late for the Viking 0212.
Will do. Out.
Two air-to-air missiles are tracking Viking 0213.
Can do. Affirmative. Out. Emergency racket bearing 103. Roger. Avenge me. Will do. Roger. Out.
Which is shot down, fresh from its victory, sinking the Victor 3.
Affirmative.
The Seahawk evades.
Can do. Roger. Roger. Out.
The hostile contact has entered Laboon's air defense zone. Laboon engages.
Engage track 9251. Will do. Roger. Out. Emergency racket track 9251. Cannot comply. I've got him. Engaging track 9251. Affirmative. Weapon away. Track. Roger. Out. Engaging track 9251. Affirmative. Out. Kill track 9251. Out.
Splash the second flanker.
I'm going down. Avenge. Can do.
Hornet 0169 is shot down.
Can do. Out.
Mark the position for search and rescue.
I'm going down. Avenge me.
Seahawk 0198 is shot down. Both flankers were shot down but extracted a heavy price. 2 Vikings, a Hornet and a Seahawk.
Roger. Will do. Roger. Out.
We need to reconstitute a cap east of the carrier.
Will do. Out.
With Bellamore's surface-to-air missile threat removed, the Hawkeye moves closer to the fleet to extend its radar range.
Affirmative.
Seahawk 0199 takes over the ASW patrol forward of the Ike.
Will do. Roger. Out. Affirmative.
And is joined by Viking 0210.
Can do. Out. Roger.
The fleet defenders to the south commence Stage 7 of the battle.
Classified. Track 9145. Will do. Roger. Out.
Anti-surface warfare on the coastal contacts. This starts with identifying the tracks. Let's pause again for a moment to task the carrier air group.
Can do. Emergency emitter bearing 036.
A Tarantule-class frigate detected off the Norwegian coast.
Emergency racket bearing track 91. Will do. Roger. Out.
Fishing boat.
Emergency emitter bearing 030.
Meanwhile, the Tomcat 0353 has resolved another 2 hostile surface contacts to the north, another Tarantule, and a Grisha corvette.
Track 9145. Identified as neutral surface. VID track 9144. Can do. Out.
Another fishing boat.
Track 9144 is neutral surface.
And a third.
Can do. Out.
Both Tomcats stage southwest of the hostile surface contacts, preparing to engage. The 4 Tomcats loitering to the west now vector north to screen the fleet against aircraft from the Russian carrier.
Can do. Roger. Out. Roger. Out. Can do. Out.
And 6 Tomcats move south to a dispersal point, from which they will conduct offensive counter-air on each of the air bases.
Affirmative.
The aircraft begin to assemble for the anti-surface warfare strike package against Kuznetsov.
Roger.
The ES-3 Viking,
Will do. Roger, out.
the Prowler,
Can do, out.
and the Hornet Squadron.
Can do, out.
SAM launch. ESM bearing northeast.
Can do. Roger, out. Can do, out. Can do.
Hornet 0352 bugs out. More air contacts inbound from the east. And let's mark the downed aviator for recovery. Let's pause the action for now and examine the battle so far. In this episode, Operation Northern Freedom continued. Stage 3 of the battle, the counter-ISR battle, saw the downing of a Tupolev Tu-142MR Bear J and the sinking of the Russian intelligence ship Belomor. Stage 4 of the battle, defensive counter-air, saw the destruction of 4 flankers, 2 Foxbats and a Foxhound. But at the cost of a Hornet, 2 Vikings and a Seahawk. And Stage 5 of the battle, anti-submarine warfare, saw the sinking of a Russian Victor 3. In the next episode, Operation Northern Freedom continues, with Stage 7 of the battle, anti-surface warfare against the coastal targets, and preparation for Stage 8, being anti-surface warfare strikes against the Kuznetsov carrier group. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. And stay tuned for the next episode.